And on that note, we now turn to someone whose company is looking to deal with the issue of access to clean water. Joining us from Houston, Texas, is the founder and president and CEO of Magna Imperial Systems, Grant Page. Grant, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell our viewers what your company does, Magna Imperial Systems, and what you're hoping to sort of solve, because you know, desalination efforts have been tried for decades, but so far it hasn't fixed some of these trouble spots around the world. How are you going to do it, Grant?
At MI Systems, we're really focusing on solving the world's water crisis. And we're going to do that by focusing not only on the developed countries and like the example you're giving, but also the developing countries. And the way that we focus on doing so is maximum recovery and minimum energy usage. So when you talk about pulling that seawater from the sea and the levels decreasing and so on and so forth, well, one of the primary problems is a lot of these plants that they're spending billions of dollars on to build not only take 5 to 7 to 9 years to do, but they also have very low efficiencies. And by efficiencies, I mean you put 100 gallons in, for every 100 gallons, you might only be getting 40 gallons out. And that's just not acceptable, and that's one reason that it needs to be fixed.
Hey, Grant, let me ask you, where are the places that are most prone to these problems? You know, we've covered in the past this day zero in South Africa where they were going to run out of water. It was, and I guess things have been staved off until next year. But, you know, Africa, Middle East, are those sort of the key culprits for potentially problematic issues with water?
Well, the Middle East actually is much farther ahead than some people might think. I mean, Saudi Arabia has 49 out of the 50th largest desalination plants in the world. When South Africa claimed that drought, their aquifers still had 21% levels in them. Where if you look at places, even here in America, like Southern California, they were weeks away from having 0%, not only in the aquifers, but also in the infrastructure that diverts water to Southern California. And if you look at the ways that we'd look to fix that, it's to build a large desal plant. And due to whether it's politics or cost or companies fighting over this or that, it's not a solution, because those solutions take, like I said before, you know, 5 to 9 years to install. So, you know, yes, you can have FEMA and other sorts of immediate response agencies to kind of help out maybe in that 3 to 6 month, maybe in some cases up to 12-month solution when the drought actually hits. But then you're left with a gap for the next, you know, 2 years to 5 to 7 years out. A prime example is look what happened in Puerto Rico. You know, we're able to get in there and help solve the immediate problem. But if you go to Puerto Rico right now, it's still as messed up as it was when we were arguing about it after the storm. So what America and the rest of the world in the developed countries need to do to come together is find a solution that can both be deployed rapidly and also be robust and resilient to last for those 10 or 15 years afterwards, just like a large desal plant is. And that's one thing that MI Systems does, is that within 3 months we're able to deploy those systems and reach those 100 million gallon per day capacities in 1 to 2 years instead of 5 to 9.
That's pretty impressive, Grant. We wish you all the best. We hope you'll come back and talk about it again. This issue is unfortunately not going away. Maybe fortunate for your company, but we hope you'll help solve it, and it looks like you're on your way. Grant, thank you so much. Grant Page, the founder and president of Magna Imperial Systems. Appreciate it, Grant. See you again, I hope.